Hello and welcome back. So guys, here in this class I'm just going to teach you some interesting thing of this project. Actually, I'm just going to teach you about the auto load from the config folder. What it can do, you know that whenever we run the database we have to load this object, the load object, and the method. This is the database method. Okay, so then we can call this using the db, and then we can apply the queries in the same way whenever we just need to when we just created this model, you know that, and now the name of the model is new model, and when we just need to call this model in the new controller. So first we have to load the model. This is the general nature of the CODEIGNITER general rule to do anything in the CODEIGNITER, that first we have to load anything, then we can work on that. You can see that we just loaded this new model, the class. This is the class we just loaded there, new model, and then now you can see that we just made it as an object, and then we just applied the method here, and then everything is working fine. But there is another interesting thing. This is the auto load. For example, I'm just teaching you why I'm just using the auto load, because I just want to teach you to insert something, and I just want to make a new function. You know that in the new controller there are two functions, the index and the new function. If I just run the new function, then I just can't see all these things. Okay, it's so simple, because you know that we are just loading this new model inside this index function, not in the new function. So if I just go to the browser and just directly type the new func and press enter, now you can see that the hello world. Exactly, we are not loading these things, all these things, including this view and etc. Just why? Because we are just calling the new function, not the index. So this is a simple thing, but actually I just want to teach you that how we can load these things automatically without calling. This thing can help us a lot, because for example, if I just need to call this new function for any meaning, for any reason, but I also want this new model too. So in that case, what I have to do, I have to call the same syntax again there. This is not the preferred way. So for this purpose, for solving this, I'm just opening the auto load. I just open this here. This file is in the config folder, as you can see, the auto load, as I just opened that. And what I just need to do, I'm just going down here. You can see that some things are there to be auto loaded. This is an array, the element is packages, and then the libraries, we can assign the array, we can assign any data as an array here. The libraries, the drivers, the helpers, the config, the languages, the model, etc. Okay, for loading the database first, here you can see that we just loaded the database here in the new model. You can see that I'm just removing that, or actually I'm just adding the comments to this. Just suppose I just didn't loaded the database, then it will work, the db object will work. I'm just going to the browser, and here everything is fine. But if I just type the index and /1 or 2 whatever query, now you can see that I'm just getting the error. Just why? Because database, I just didn't load the database yet. So now I'm just going there, and for loading the database we have to go to the libraries. Well, we just didn't discuss about the libraries yet, but we'll discuss about them, and the etc, like helpers, the config, and the language. But right now I'm just going to the libraries, and which library I'm just adding, just type the database, save. Now I just put it the library of database. Simply just type the database. As you can see the method here. By the way, the auto load is inside the auto load, which is in the config folder there. Now I'm just going to the browser, and here I'm just refreshing. Now you can see that I'm not getting the error, but actually this is the problem of the query. If I just type 1, it will work. For sure it will work. Press enter, and now you can see that it's working perfectly. The ID is 1 and the post date should be that. So it's totally working in a perfect manner, which means if I just go to the new controller, to the new model, I just don't need to load the database anymore. It's loading automatically. So I just removed that line. Now if I just make another new function in the new model, so actually I just don't need to load the database again. But there is something more. You know that this is the new model class. Well, I'm just clearing the thing again. we are just getting the database. We have to load the database inside this new module, inside this database function, but now we don't need, because we're just loading this thing in the autoload. But the second thing is, that the class name is new model, and we have to call this class in the new controller, which actually had now the database loading, which is loading automatically. So now we just need to load this class in the new controller by using this thing, this load model. And you know that we cannot call this new model in this new function, because we are not loading this there. So now if I just hide it, or actually just edit the comments and save and go to the browser and refresh that, now I'll get the error again, as you know too. Go back, and actually I'm just going to the auto load. So where to make this model loaded in the auto load, just go down. You can see the drivers, helpers, the config. Here, this is the model area. They're just showing you the type and the ways how you can apply this. Now this is the model name, the first model, but here what is the name of the model? The model name is new model, which is the class actually. So there in the auto load, just type the new in the same syntax, okay, the capital N, new model. Now save and then go to the browser. Remember that we just hidden this one. Save and go to the browser and refresh. Now it is working perfectly. That means we just don't need to load this again. I can delete that too. So save and go to the browser, and it's working perfectly. This is what I just want to teach you in this class about the auto load. So guys, in the next class we will learn about the insertion, how we can insert anything to the database, and actually we'll learn about the update and then deleting etc in the further classes. So stay tuned and goodbye.